Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About Life with me, your girl Kedra. Y'all, the devil is very, very busy today. I'm trying to record this video. The light isn't working. None of my lights are working. I can't find the plugs with another light. So we're just going to do what it do. And thank you guys so much for rocking with me because, yeah, the devil is really, really busy today. But we're going to push on through. One thing for certain, two things for sure is a Black woman is going to do what she says she's going to do. She's going to pay attention and she's going to listen. Like what Kamala Harris is doing. Let me explain something to y'all. Kamala has been listening to you guys, all right? I feel like, okay, let me just backtrack. I spent my Saturday up in PA campaigning for Kamala to win because it's so important for her to win this election. Not only is she overly qualified for this role, I just believe in her, like wholeheartedly. As a woman who really pulled herself up, and came from a family of immigrants, who is making her dreams come true, and who has always fought for Black people, people of color. She's always fought for marginalized people throughout her career. Child, Google it. Like, I'm not even getting into that, all that right now. But the one thing that I heard from voters when I was down in PA is that a lot of men did not feel represented and heard by Kamala. So I could understand that, how men could feel left out. I'm just being honest. I'm not giving pick me energy. But for the same part, the Dems always talk about, migrants and women. And I could totally feel and understand how men, straight heterosexual men, can just feel like left out. Despite the privileges that they have in this world, I could see how they could feel left out of these conversations. But you see, Kamala was listening. She was listening and she was thinking, and she came out today with a plan that she has to help entrepreneurs. And this is definitely something that Black men can hold on to and feel like it is something for them specifically. Because I think when you're a Black candidate or when you're a candidate of color, whatever group you belong to, they rightfully so feel an obligation as to, well, what you gonna do for me? And Obama did do a lot of things for Black people, but at the same time, I don't know that a lot of Black people felt like, oh, this was specifically for me. So Kamala, even though there were a lot of things that were specifically for us, Kamala mapped out this plan and how she is going to help Black entrepreneurs and small business owners. This just came out today, y'all, and I'm so excited about it. So the plan includes that she's going to give $1 million in fully forgivable loans, up to $20,000 for Black entrepreneurs. She's going to further investment into training, mentorship, apprenticeship programs designed to help Black men land jobs in high demand industries, and the legalization and recreational use of marijuana, paired with an effort to make sure that Black men are able to access wealth and jobs in the market. So that I'm just saying that she's really been listening and paying attention. This has been an ongoing conversation for ever since she started running, to be honest. What Black men have felt left out, and Black men have been feeling left out, and she is taking a step in the direction to make sure that they know, I hear you, I support you, I am here for you, and I have a plan for you, and we're all going to win together. She's not on some, I'm going to win by myself. We're all going to win together, and period. So that makes me feel really good. I've been talking to a lot of Black men about Kamala, and as a woman, obviously, a lot of my focus has been on women issues, rightfully so, right? Because I'm a woman, that's what I think about. But a lot of the Black men that I've been speaking to, their focus is on money. Money, money, money. What's the economy? And I'm just going to be honest. They were not interested in women's rights, and they were not interested in what's going on with abortion. They're not interested in education. They're not interested in what's going on with the kids. They're only interested in the bottom line. And regardless of whether that's right or wrong, or how we feel about it, or what our emotions say, the point is that Black men get out and vote. That's what we really need. We need Black men to show up for us the way that we've consistently showed up for them. And we need them to go out and vote. And we need them to go out and vote for the Dems. And we need them to go and vote and support Kamala. So this new initiative sounds awesome. I'm really excited about it. She's the person to do it. She has a close relationship with these communities. She's been doing this all along. She was putting forth initiatives like this when she was in California. Everyone talks about how she was so hard on crime. Well, when she was in California, she put together an initiative to help folks who are formerly incarcerated, help them get jobs, help them get education. So this is something that she's done before, and we know that she's just gonna do it again and hit it out the park. Kudos to Kamala. I cannot wait until we can call her Madam President. I see it, y'all. We need her to win. We need this win. We need this win. Black women need this win. America needs this win. Let's just cut it. We just need this win because we can't have Trump again. We cannot go through another 4 years with Donald Trump. He doesn't deserve it. He hasn't earned it. And yeah, no. So, Beyonce's attorney is not playing with Jaguar Wright. I didn't even know who Jaguar Wright was for a long time until I just saw her trending everywhere for making these insane comments and telling these insane industry stories. I actually mentioned it to my cousin and she was like, Jaguar Wright was a one-hit wonder and she hasn't had anything out since. Now she just goes along and just bothers celebrities and just spreads rumors. Well, she tried it with Beyonce and Jay-Z on Piers Morgan's show, you know, the British guy, and that's a journalist, but we'll just leave that to the side. She went on his show and just started spewing all kinds of lies about Beyonce and about Jay-Z and about accusing Jay-Z and aligning him with Diddy. And basically, the lawyer went on the show and was like, absolutely not. This isn't what you're going to do. This isn't what we're doing. And basically didn't give her a cease and desist, but said, if you don't apologize, if you don't take these words back, we're going to take legal action. And what did she do? What did her and Piers Morgan do? They apologized. They did. They came up. I've been seeing a lot of people on social media saying, oh, Jaguar Wright, she must be onto something because if she wasn't, then she would have been got sued for defamation, but they can't sue her because she's right. No, there's a guy on TikTok who explained this perfectly. And he basically explained that, you know, when she's on YouTube and she's just spitting her whatever, it's one thing. But when you go on a huge platform like that Piers Morgan has, and you're spewing lies and making things up, it's a big difference than when you're just doing it for a smaller platform, especially something like Piers Morgan platform, because he pretends to be a real objective journalist. And even though he's not, a lot of people don't know that. So in the event that you get on here and you're talking crazy, you're going to be held accountable for it. So he apologized, she apologized, they backtracked, and as they should, because it's just so interesting to me that a lot of people are trying to malign Jay-Z with Diddy and making all these false accusations. And I've even talked about it with my own family, and I feel like when people have a lot of money and people have a lot of power, they do a lot of crazy things. And maybe Jay-Z's name came up a lot when he was younger. But the difference between like a Jay-Z and like a Diddy and all these other folks is that Jay hasn't been aligned with anything publicly, even remotely close to what we hear about Diddy. So I don't know why everyone's trying to put him in the same boat, but it's giving apples and oranges. It's two different categories. So yeah, basically their lawyer had them shut it down and was like, listen, you want to spit your lies in your little platform that no one's listening to? Okay, whatever. But you're not going to do it on this grand platform where there are thousands, maybe even millions of people are watching. I'm not even going to say millions. I'm not even going to give him that much credit. But where there are hundreds of thousands of people watching, we can't let them think that this propaganda, that this lies are true. So yeah, shut that down. So yeah, period. Kanye West, Kanye West. Kanye West is being sued, you guys, by his ex-assistant. She's accusing him of drugging and sexually assaulting her at a studio session that Diddy was at. Now, the court documents don't mention Diddy. They just say that he was at the studio session. But essentially, this woman, Lauren Piscicota, she worked from him from 2021, 22, and she says that he was basically sexually harassing her. She mentions a story about how she met him in the studio with Diddy, and this is before she started working with him, and how apparently he told everyone in the session, you have to have a drink. If you don't have a drink, you have to leave. Gave her a drink, and she feels like she took a couple of sips and she felt like disoriented. And then she didn't remember what happened. The next time she saw him, he said, oh yeah, about what happened at the studio last time. And she was like, what do you mean? And he was like, oh, so funny. This is what this is what Kanye is saying to her. Oh, so funny. Girls always act like they don't remember. She then goes on to work for him as his chief of staff, and says that there was a time where she was in a hotel and he knocked on her door and said, hey, I just used the shower. My shower is broken. So she let him in. And next thing she knows, he's coming out the shower and drops his towel. Somehow his man parts come into contact with her. And she's like, no, get off me, stop. And he quickly apologizes and leaves it out the room. He says, oh, sorry, and leaves out the room. So, yeah, very much not appropriate at work. And this all happened at the St. Regis Hotel in San Francisco, allegedly. He aggressively pounded on her door at 6 a.m. and forced his way into her room. So, it's not looking too good for him. Mind you, he already has a separate lawsuit. Back in 2004, an employee of his said that he claimed that he suffered severe discrimination and harassment from Kanye, and while working at Yeezy, and then at his Donda Academy School, and then another former staffer also filed a lawsuit this week saying there was allegations of emotional distress, retaliation, and labor code violations. So, yeah, it's just a lot. But, Kanye hasn't made this situation any better for himself. We know that there have been open stories about when he was there have been so many stories about him being at work and him showing employees porn. I remember there was a story from a housewife. I forgot which housewife it was, but she said that she went to, and this is all Googleable information. This isn't a rumor. She said that she went to his house and they were going on a date. And he said, hold on a second. And he went in another room. And next thing she knew, she was looking for him because he obviously went away. She goes and finds him in another room, pitch black dark, and he just has porn on the TV. He's just sitting there watching it. And then she says after that she left. So he's even spoken openly about his porn addiction, the way that he walks around with his wife, Bianca Safaree. Oh, and also allegedly, one of the staffers confessed that he said that he wanted to hook up with Bianca Safaree's mom and wanted Bianca to watch his new wife. So it's not looking good for him because there's just already so many sexual misconduct allegations against him already. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it's not looking good for Kanye right now. He's already talked about his sex addiction. Or his porn addiction, rather. So, these allegations, they don't sound far-fetched. I'm just saying, but we'll see how it plays out. I'll keep you guys updated. Safaree went to Gag City. Now, why would Safaree go to Gag City? People are like, so basically Safaree went to Nicki Minaj's concert. Safaree and Nicki were in a relationship for a very long time. Before Nicki even became Nicki, Safaree and her were in a relationship, a very long-term relationship, and then they broke up. And, Nicki ended up dating Meek Mill and other people, and then got married and had a baby, whatever. So for Safaree to show up at Gag City, when he showed up, Nicki asked him to leave publicly, and he essentially, her husband came out, she was dancing on him, whatever, enjoying herself, good time. And people were like, oh my gosh, that's so corny. Why would she do that? Why would she kick him out? I don't know. Y'all must not be real Nicki fans, because our girl has spoken about this. She's spoken about her relationship with Safaree. She talked about how tumultuous it was in her music, how she was really upset. And I think it just led her to doing a lot of unhealthy and toxic things to cope. And we saw the way that he treated Erica Mena. And just to say, y'all, a tiger doesn't change his stripes. If he treated Erica Mena like that, publicly, you can only imagine what he did to Nicki Minaj privately. And it's not because, oh, Nicki's famous, he would never treat her like that. Yeah, that's not how abusers work. That's not how manipulators work. They treat everybody the same in different ways. So no, he didn't up and leave her with a baby, but Nicki definitely said that he was cheating on her, taking advantage of her. And she even talks about how he didn't believe in her career. I guess when Nicki first left New York to go to Atlanta to start her career, Safaree went with her. And she talks about how she was, working and how she was holding it down for both of them. And Safaree wasn't doing anything. He was trying to ride her coattails and then literally told her one day he didn't want to work anymore. And Nicki talks about how his own mother was like, you're never going to make it. You're living in a fantasy world. Him and the mother and the sister told Nicki this. So I don't know why everyone is acting like they don't know anything about this. Maybe I don't. Maybe I have a short memory. But I remember specifically Nicki talking about all of this. And it's really sad because for him, men like him, master manipulators, I don't want us to use the word narcissist because I feel like it's so overused. But for men like him, this is common behavior. He doesn't have anything to do. He's bored and he needs attention because he thrives off of attention. So that's why he had to go to her concert. It was not to support her. I was listening to Armand Wiggins's podcast. I love him. Shout out to him. And he was like, oh my gosh, what if they probably had a connection and they probably always told each other one day, he probably told her, oh, I'll always be there on the side. I bet you will, because manipulators and abusers are always going to be there. They're never going to go anywhere. They're never going to leave you alone. And a lot of people think it's a flex, and it's not a flex that an abuser and a manipulator won't leave you alone. Nicki did the right thing. Kick him out. See him to the door. He was not there with good intentions. He was not there because he was also proud of her. If he was really also proud of her, wanted to support, he would have went quietly by himself, put a hat on, and been on the low sitting somewhere in the corner, okay? He wouldn't have been up in the middle row making it known. He had 3 security guards with him. He wanted to be seen. He wanted people to know that he was there. It was not good intentions, and that was very obvious for someone that unfortunately understands abusers and how they work and how they move. Yeah, it was so obvious what he was doing. So yeah, I love Armand, but he was totally off with that. He was there to get attention because they need attention. Those type of men that have those issues, they need attention. And because Nicki spoke about their relationship, it didn't sound like it ended in a positive way. And she made it clear that he was not the best to her. He was not nice to her. And he didn't deserve her. And men like that, it's so interesting because men like that who crave attention, and he wanted to be famous too. Y'all have to remember that. So I could only imagine the way that he was subtly probably attack her with little microaggressions. And when it comes to people like him, they do things subtly on purpose to make it so that when you flip out, it makes it seem like you're the crazy one. But in reality, they know what they're doing. They're egging you on and they're doing it on purpose. So yeah, I saw that play a mile away. He was not there to support her. He does not probably wish her well. He would love to be a bigger star than her. And if he was a bigger star than her, he would on her every single time that he got. Don't get it twisted with Safaree. Yeah, no, he's not there for her. So, yeah, now Erica Mena's over here talking about something. She's embarrassed she had kids with him. Girl, I'm sure he feels the same. So, thank you guys so much for this another episode of Let's Talk About Life with Keidra. If you guys have not already, please like and subscribe to this channel. I will be back next week. If you guys want to talk about anything else, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you love this, hate this, have any critiques. I love you guys so much. Have a great week. Mwah.